My name is James DeCristofaro, Hamptons real estate attorney. This is video number 2 of my 5-part video series of residential real estate transactions in the Hamptons. The title of this video number 2 is You've Listed Your Hamptons Home for Sale, and now what? And what we're going to cover is presenting the home, the seller disclosures, and the offer and acceptance process. So in this video, we're going to cover presenting your home, making it available for purchase, seller's disclosures, and the offer and acceptance process. So your real estate agent will probably be better at this than I am. And my very, very strong advice and recommendation is do not do a for sale by owner. Real estate agents in New York City are very professional. They know what they're doing. They're high volume folks, and you don't know what you don't know, and they could definitely help you facilitate the process. I mean, I've bought and sold properties in Manhattan and elsewhere, and I've always had and always gone through a real estate agent. The information that they offer, a good one, and most of them are good, at least in my experience, is very, very valuable to the process, and they definitely earn the fee. When you present your home for sale, and I did this with the last home that I sold, and I just learned this, and I think it's very important, is depersonalize your home. Take down all photos, take down anything that demonstrates your personality. And why is that? Because when a person comes in, a prospective buyer, they want to work off a blank canvas. They want to express their creativity. They want to say, well, what can I do with this home? And if you and your family are sitting there staring at them, they're going to think that it's your home, and it might stop their process and make them move on to the next property. And you want them to be able to picture themselves in the home that you're trying to sell, because since you're selling it, it's really no longer your home, so make it available for others. The next thing that I mentioned is we're going to talk about disclosures. This is very important. There's seller's disclosures. Now, there's one of two options that sellers have, and there's a seller disclosure form that has these like different things to disclose, this, that, and the other thing, water, faucets, pipes, different things that could or may be wrong with the house or right with the house. You check it, you indicate if there's an issue or not. Now, the way to avoid that whole hassle is you give the buyer a $500 credit at closing. So there's no need for you to go through the checklist. There's no need for you to take the time to do it. There's no need to also take the risk that if you don't disclose something, you may be held liable for it, and it's definitely worth the $500. So in my opinion, again, your particular situation may vary, and this is, again, not legal advice. Yes, it's worth giving the credit to the seller at the closing, and it's $500. Now for the offer and acceptance process, when a prospective purchaser really likes your home and they're interested in it, they're going to ask questions. The real estate agents are probably going to go back and forth on the questions and answers. And if it rises to the level of them not knowing, and normally they know a lot about the property, they're going to ask you. But that's a good thing because it shows that the buyer is interested in the property. And once they have decided that this is something that they want, the buyer or prospective buyer then makes an offer. And all this happens between the agents once it raises to the formal level. Typically it's in writing, or I believe it has to be in writing. The agent, if there are two agents, the buyer's agent will write up the offer, send it to the seller's agent, and then there's 3 things that can happen. It'll either be accepted, rejected, or rejected with a counteroffer. And then if and when the buyer and seller agree on a sales price, then there's what's called an offer and acceptance. Now, the purchaser or prospective purchaser can put conditions on the offer. One of the very popular conditions is make the offer subject to financing, or not the offer subject to financing. They'll get into contract and there'll be an offer and acceptance, but it's subject to financing. And that means if the purchaser cannot obtain financing, they get their deposit back and the deal is over. Another condition that's very important to note is inserting a time is of the essence clause. A lot of times, purchases of residential real property in New York City, they get delayed and delayed and delayed. And if there's a time is of the essence clause is in there and it doesn't close on time, the party at fault is the one that's harmed. So that's also another thing to consider when making an offer, or accepting an offer when you're the seller.
I would definitely recommend Lawyer James.
It changed my life.
James has done an outstanding job.
But he kept me calm, kept me on point.
I would definitely encourage you to get in touch with James as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, do it now.